Hi, I am Osman. I'm an energy healer on a master level with telepathic capabilities, specializing in critical care recovery and terminal illnesses, amongst a host of other physiological, psychological, and spiritual ailments. I'm also an advanced level yoga and meditation teacher. Visit my website yogawellness786.com for more information on my services. Also, remember my therapies are all natural based and not a replacement for medical treatment. How to rem- remain always in a blissed and joyous state. So, you often hear advanced practitioners of yoga, and typically Sadhguru, who always says, he's always blissed out, he's always high. Can't you see my eyes? I'm blissed out always. He's always joyful and feeling amazing and ecstatic, right? And how to embrace or develop that level in yourself. So if you practice the regular yoga and meditation, on your own, you're not going to achieve that state. Yes, you're going to, improve your calmness, become more centered. You'll be more successful, in on a much better level than if you are not practicing it, right? There's a major improvement in all aspects of your life, but it's not going to be ecstatic and joyful like how the people mentioned. To attain that state, you have to start practicing advanced levels of yoga and meditation. And to practice your advanced level and yoga and meditation, you need to be initialized. Someone needs to kickstart your spiritual energy, which is dormant in you. By default, it is dormant and asleep, and it doesn't naturally awaken, right? It needs certain practices, and the yoga practices are there to nurture and to assist in awakening it. And you can naturally awaken it on your own, right? But it's going to take you time, right? About 10 years, of time to do it. But when you go to an advanced level teacher who's teaching you, you will instantly awaken it to you, right? In one session, and saving you 10 to 15 years of trouble, right? And that needs to be done, and you need to follow the right protocol from an experienced teacher. So my protocol has been refined and designed over the past almost 5 decades that I've been practicing yoga, the yoga sciences. And also, I've been very passionate in finding shorter ways, simpler ways, adapting it for the 21st century. So, you can adopt an advanced level of practice, in a much shorter time period and more effective, because you want to, progress as fast as possible and safely as possible, from someone who's competent. So, a bit, you don't necessarily have to come to me. There are many competent teachers. Once you're on that level, then you're going to feel that amazing feeling of like that amazing bliss that is permeating your whole body, and sometimes it becomes so intense. You are Your every cell is vibrating, but you learn from the right teacher. You're able to control it and tone it down, or light it up, and learn how to manage it, right? And you're feeling, joyous, you're feeling amazing, you're feeling blissful, 24/7, 24/7. Yes, you can get angry, you can, I mean, it doesn't mean you are stupid. If you are practicing yoga and meditation, doesn't mean someone slaps you, you necessarily have to. If you want to, you can change. You'll have control of your anger, that you don't need to, you don't wouldn't react instinctively. You'll control your reaction, and you'll have control on whether to react or not. You'll think, in this situation, should I react or don't react? Right? There were many highly tense situations I've been in. I was able to make the decision whether to react or not react, and think of the possible outcomes before I reacted, right? So I'm right now, as I'm speaking, I'm feeling this amazing feel of bliss inside me. It's like a flower that is penetrating all my cells, and like, we can explain it like a state of orgasm, but a mini, because I'm controlling it to keep it on a low level, like a mini. orgasm that is permanently permeating every cell of my body, right? It's like a blissed out feeling, and feeling amazing and relaxed and calm and together. Any problem comes, failure comes, this thing, I'm feeling good. I handle it in my stride, and not as a stupid, do what is necessary. So let me give you an example of an incident. I was assisting a friend of mine who owns an accommodation establishment, a hotel establishment, and there was one patron that came in. He was excessively drunk at that time, and he wanted some money from the safe. And I was in the reception. I was blind, as I am now, blind. And of course, I had someone assisting me. I was helping manage the hotel, and I was sitting in the reception together with the receptionist, a male receptionist. It was the night shift, and this person was demanding, the keys to this, and there was quite a bit of cash, in the safe. So I simply took charge. I said, no, there's no money in the safe. There's very little money, and I don't have, it's only going to be like about 200, in the safe, and there isn't thousands and all these things, so it's not this thing. So he started arguing and pa- pacing and going onto his phone. When I saw an opportunity, when he was not looking, a call came, and there was someone very sick in his family, and he needed the money for an emergency treatment in the hospital, and he came to rob us in order to have the funds to be able to pay for that. And he was on the phone focusing on the call. I quickly told the receptionist, open the safe, give me all the cash and leave only 200, one note, right, in the safe, lock it, and I kept the cash in my pocket. And then the person didn't see what I did, and he got off the phone call, and he came back and threatening, and then he started to get, like violent, and banging things around. And eventually I said, okay, open the safe. Just tell him, yes, have a look. And he went himself, and he went and saw there was only one note. And he got even more. And I said, you see, I told you, we don't have money. It's been a quiet night, and everyone, booked online, and, they paid by card or they paid online, before coming. And we haven't received, cash tonight, as what you are imagining. But the cash is in my pocket, right? And in that rage of anger, he started to push the receptionist around, and he kicked him very hard, right? And the receptionist got frightened and ran away, ran out of and ran into the street. And the criminal, he chased him for a bit and came back. And then he came to me, and he punched me full in my face. So I'm blind, but I have studied martial arts. I'm a Qigong Energy Healer. Qigong is part of the martial arts field of the Shaolin Temple, right? So one of the other elements is, Kung Fu and Tai Chi, as well, not only just yoga and meditation, right? And in my childhood, I focused on the Japanese martial arts. Karate, I preferred that because I didn't like using weapons. I like to make my body the weapon, use my hands as a weapon. And I knew how to. He was in close vicinity. I could have grabbed him and responded. So it was a very small reception, and I'm thinking all these thoughts in a split second. The punch just landed, right? When it landed in that split second, I'm thinking I'm gonna hit back. Behind him is a very thin wall that he's gonna go either flying through that wall and break the wall, and there's going to be a cost involved to repair that wall, and the reception area is going to look like a disaster, when guests are coming, and there are a lot of guests in the hotel, and I'm keeping my voices down. They don't know this commotion is happening, and it's going to make people panic, and people are going to check out of the hotel, right? Or there was a glass cabinet slightly to the left that I know. He's going to go busting into that, and glass pieces going to come everywhere. And maybe he's going to get hurt and injured and lacerations. And maybe he's going to, something serious. A little bit more to the left was a balcony, a rail for the balcony. And he's going to maybe go that way, and he's going to go over and fall down and maybe die or get injured very seriously. Or on this side was the reception table is going to break the reception, table. So I'm considering all this in a split second, and he's drunk. I said, it's better for me. My life is not in danger. I received a punch, yes, and he hasn't threatened with any weapons yet. And the receptionist, when he was here, didn't mention any weapons, right? So I don't feel there's any lethal weapons. It's taking a blow. Let me take the blow, and he is drunk and he's angry. He needed to give vent to it because he didn't get what he wanted. Let him get satisfied with that. Let me see if it escalates, to a level where my life is in danger. I don't feel my life is in danger right now. And that was all that he gave. And then he calmed down and he sat for a long time. He stayed there for over an hour, right? I think close to 2 hours, almost holding us like hostage. But I was calm. I wasn't afraid. And there was no receptionist. And people were coming in because there were people who was coming to check in late, travelers just landed, and they had the reservations. And I attended to them. I didn't take any cash from them carefully. I just said, no, I'll give you your bed and everything, and you can check in and take you, and they didn't know this person is here because he was just sitting calmly and quietly deciding what to do. And then he left calmly, right? So I was able to, hold myself together, but I was ready to respond if necessary. And I didn't get afraid and become like a mouse. If I became afraid of him, then he's going to feel dominant and beat me up more. And there were many occasions in that place where I needed to raise my voice, and I got angry. And people said, "But you practice yoga and meditation. How come, you raise your voice and you snap at people, right?" I said, "Because the person needs snapping. If I didn't snap back, they're going to continue, taking advantage, because I normally calmly say yes or no, and this is not, I'm unable to assist you with this, and or don't do this, and they still continue wanting to do it, and I have to raise my voice, right? And they get surprised. They said, I thought you are advanced and you're always calm. I said, no, but anger is something that is necessary sometimes, right? And I don't let the anger permeate me. And after the incident, I've completely, come back to normal again within a short space of time, right? Sometimes it affects me for a short while. I have a conversation with someone that is very irritable, and sometimes it takes about half an hour, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, right? Maximum 30 minutes, to feel okay again, and then I'm fine, and I'm okay. So just trying to show you that this, I do have other feelings, and I do lose control, or seem to lose control, because I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm calculating what I'm doing, right, before I do something. So hope all that information helps you and you get the message. Take care always.